Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is my channel where I talk about reset at 60, how I completely turned my life around at almost 60, moved to a new country, started life all over again, and where I decided that this is where I'm going to live and how I'm going to live. I share some of my challenges, my travel tips, the things I'm doing in this my new country, how I'm settling in. I share all of it with you, and then I share stories from my life. I mean, by the time you have lived up to 60 or close to 60 or even 50, you've gathered a lot of stories, and I have a lot of those to share with you. So, in our last video, we're talking about how to fund your relocation. And today we want to look at something else. And those are some of the challenges that I have faced moving to another country. Those are some of the things I want to share with you today. And maybe by the time you move to a new country, if you do decide to move to a new country, they may also be some of your challenges, or these are some of the things that you may want to look at or walk through before you move. Or at least expect. Sometimes when you know exactly what to expect, you know how to navigate it. So for context, I live in Ghana now. Okay, and Ghana is not far from my country, and it is a country that I'm quite familiar with. I have visited Ghana a number of times. I've been coming here for many years for work, for holiday, for business, different things I've come to do in Ghana over the years. And so as far as I knew, as far as I believed, Ghana was home for me. It was like a second home, not a strange place. I know the people, I know how they behave, and so it was okay. Or so I thought, until I took that decision to move here. So, first, let me just say it, visiting a place is different from actually living in the place. When you visit a place with the intention of you're going to stay for 1 week, 2 weeks, even 1 month, 3 months, and then you are going back home, it's not the same thing as when you now take the decision and you say, look, you know what, this is my home now, I'm moving here. Because when you're visiting, whatever happens in the country, it's not really your business. You're living at a certain level, so you just hurry up, you do your things, and then you go back. But when you move in, everything that happens in the country, good or bad, affects you and is a part of your issues. So we moved here, and the first thing that hit me was the currency, the money. Suddenly, I didn't understand the system of the money. And like I said before, this is a country I've been visiting over and over. So I've come here, I've spent money here, and all of that. And suddenly, I realized that look, it's different. Because this is not like when I had a budget. Maybe you have a budget of $1,000. I'm just going to spend $1,000, and I'm going to go here, 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 here. I'm doing this tour. I'm going to see this tourist attraction. I'm shopping here. I'm going to that market, and then just before the money is exhausted, I'm going back home. So this is the amount I have reserved for transportation. This is the amount that I'm going to use for some other things. So when we came in, not as tourists this time, but as residents, it threw me. It threw me. The first thing was, okay, I'm not. What does this money mean? How much is this to that? And I started to worry about exchange rates. How much does the naira exchange for the cedi? How much does the cedi exchange for the dollar? How do I convert money? How do I do this? How do I do that? So that was my first big problem. I just couldn't understand it. I was like, how is it that this money is so much in naira, and then in cedis is so little? If you are not aware, Ghana, they redenominated their currency some years back, so it's close to the dollar, par for par. And it was a huge issue for me because you have a million naira, for instance, and then by the time you convert it, it's 8,000 cedis. I'm like, what is that? I'm a millionaire in my country, and then I come here and I barely have. I mean, what's this? 10,000 cedis is over a million naira. So that was a huge issue for me. The luck I had was I came with my daughter. So my daughter was doing all of the conversion. She was doing the money exchanges. In fact, she was paying for things. When we had to get a house, I just handed everything over to her. I said, look, you know what? You do the payment. And because, again, we're not tourists, we're going to stay, we had to get a house, we had to furnish the house, we had to do all of that. It's not the same thing as when you are staying in a hotel, you're staying in an Airbnb. You are not paying for some things. So she had to find a way to um, change the money, do an exchange, transfer the money from our Nigerian banks, and then change it into local currency. And that was a huge challenge. That was, I mean, it was very, very stressful navigating those first few months. It's easier now. I have a better grasp, I have a better understanding. And then they use coins. I'm like, who still uses coins? I don't remember the last time that I used coins in Africa. I know that, okay, when you go to America, you go to Dubai, you still have coins. But I mean, in Nigeria, we haven't used coins in years. So it was a big challenge for me to now be counting. In fact, what I used to do when I get to the shop and I have coins, I want to buy something, I just pack all the coins I have and then I give to the I give it to the shop owner and I'm like, okay, take what is yours and give me the rest. Even when I had to take public transportation, I said, look, I don't understand this money. But luckily for me, I've not been scammed, I've not been duped. They would just laugh and say, okay, oh no, this is what. So that took me a long time. That was a big challenge for me. But luckily, I have overcome that to a very large extent. It's easier for me now. It's still difficult to accept the difference in, I mean, I'm not talking the value now, I'm talking of in the figures. It's still difficult for me to accept that a million naira is less than 10,000 cedis, but at least I have a better grasp of what 10,000 cedis will get me in the market. I'll talk about markets and shopping in another video. The other thing, which is where I'll end today's video, the other major thing that was an issue for me was the weather. I couldn't understand the weather. I was like, hey, what are you doing? When we came, it looked like Hamatan, but it was weird. It was very weird. I'm like, what kind of weather is this? Early in the morning, you feel the sea breeze. Where we live is, I think, is not too far from the sea, so you feel the sea breeze. And then by afternoon, it feels somehow it's hot, and yet you're feeling the breeze. I was like, look, what's happening? My skin, my body didn't really understand. And to tell you the truth, I have not totally adjusted to the weather. So I find that my skin is drier. I need to moisturize much more. And then the heat. I come from a very hot part of Nigeria. I've lived in the north for many years and it's very hot. But the Ghanaian heat was just one that I could not understand. I didn't know what was happening to my body. I didn't understand it. It was strange. And so now we are in rainy season. Where I come from, when it's rainy season, it actually rains. Like it rains every day. You see the rains and all. But I find that here, it's so different. You wake up in the morning, there are rain clouds, and you're sure it's going to rain all day. And then you go for the next 1 week, not a drop of rain. And yet every morning there are rain clouds. And so I begin to ask myself, these rain clouds, where do they actually drop? Where do they fall? And then